You're now watching two old farts making noises.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that cool beginning as we're about to go live. We're actually
Hello.
live. Happy Monday.
Happy
Happy
Monday to
Monday.
everybody.
I have
Yeah.
you on many screens in the studio. So
How
just to
many
see what
screens?
everyone
How many
sees.
screens you've got?
I got like four, I got tons of screens on this side. So I'm just watching the live as we go live. So
You're watching the markets on the left,
I got markets and what's going on
news,
in the
the
world.
wars on the
Yep.
right, and
You got to make
everything.
sure. And then I got us, right? I have us on a couple of screens too to make sure
Of
we're all
course,
doing good.
because okay. So just this moment also. So
Okay.
I finished the story. So I'm inviting people to come for the live now, right now. It's
Sure.
just one
I,
moment.
I pushed all the little buttons right before we went live and invited as many people as I can possibly have come to the live show. But the nice thing is we rebroadcast this. So the people that miss it live, because some of them, well, today's a holiday in America. It's a bank holiday. So a lot of people
Today?
are, today's a bank holiday. It's either Veterans Day or Columbus Day, or it's one of those days. Um, it could be National Cigar and Scotch Week. I have no idea. But all I know is it's a holiday today. So the banks and the postal service are not running. So a lot of people are off. So someone may get up early and be like, hey, who's this guy? And then you will have a new fan. Because the
All
last
right.
live show got, its usual couple hundred people, but the rebroadcast, I think, got 2 or 3,000. So see, people like us in rebroadcast.
Well, those shows are not about only what's
Art.
happening
Yeah.
at the moment. We don't comment only on the current situations. Today we will a little, I
Yes, we're going
think,
to talk about what's
because
going on in Israel today.
yeah, in Israel and in general, because I believe I created a work that we will show next time about confrontations, and
Okay.
I have a feeling that those words somehow are connected. You know.
Yes. I've people. It's just funny. I can't. It's like that whole region has been fighting. Ooh, look, I'm just playing around with the looks today. The whole region has been fighting for thousands and thousands of years, and really for what?
Yeah, but you know something, the wars are not that popular now as they used to be, like in the
In the
past.
'60s. Yeah.
No, no, no. I mean, in the past, those regions like Middle East, yeah,
Hmm.
there were wars everywhere all the time. To be
Right.
honest, this is our kind of nature, and we confront each other. We want things. We want. It's the ego that I was saying. That
Right.
I'm saying all the time. That does allow that this those lands belong to us,
Right.
and then people start, you can see it on the social media how they behave and how they talk about their land.
Right.
But there was always someone before your ancestors, and what does it mean, our land? What does it mean,
Mm.
we're Greeks, right? And
Right.
they do the DNA test, and it looks like kind of identical, but still, is it the same? And what does it matter?
Yeah.
What does the race really matter? I mean, what does the color matter?
Right.
We're on a rock. We have the same fate. We're on the rock. We have climate change. The climate change is really, really like just. It
Right.
will affect everybody,
Right.
everything. So we have a common enemy, a common issue, a common problem we need to face. And instead of that, we are doing really terrible things. I
Yeah.
mean, the images, the videos I've seen from the war now in Israel were horrible. I mean, it's
Hmm.
disgusting. You've seen them. I think
I've seen.
everybody's seen them.
But here's the thing. If if you think about it, we are the human. We're visitors to this planet. You would think we would all just try to get along, but we don't. Everyone's fighting over something, and it's sort of like we're not really helping each other. And the surprise attack out of nowhere, and I'm sure there's a reason for it and whatnot. I read something that Iran was involved and they helped them, and but it's like seriously, all you're doing is now you're making the whole region a powder keg again, like it's just going to explode. And it's sort of like,
Yes,
why can't we just
it
have
feels so,
peace?
doesn't it? That
Yeah,
it's
it
going to
does. It
everything
does.
that is.
Yeah,
And look, there is a war and I tell you that there might be more wars.
yeah. Oh, I think there's going
It's
to be more wars.
candle. There is something boiling and at the borders of Serbia and Kosovo.
Okay. Again?
Yeah, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
because there is a part of the Kosovo that on the north that
Right.
Serbs are living there,
Oh, wow.
and those regions are kind of used to wars. You
Yeah,
know,
but that's a poor excuse to have a war. It's like, yeah, we're used to war.
no,
We
no,
haven't had a war
it's very poor. It's very poor
yeah.
excuse.
It's sort of like we haven't had a war in 50 years. Let's have one. It'll be fun. There's something to do. Like it's something for the kids to do over the weekend. I mean, that's kind of unfortunately, I
Yeah,
think
but
because of
you know what the problem is, and I when the war started in Israel now, like
right.
yesterday, right?
Hmm. 2 days ago. Yeah.
Uh, 2 days ago, yes. I go to the social media on X and on Facebook, and I see people fighting. That some are with the Israeli, some
Right.
are with the Palestinians,
Right. Right.
and they act like it's a football game.
Right.
You know, like they are supporters of a game. And I say, look, it's not it's not a game. There are
Right.
people dying. We already have a problem globally with prices. With we are through many crises right now.
Right.
And do we need another major? Because this is major. You know something? The state of Israel has declared war after 50 years, the worst situations that they've been through. And we know it's a very strong army. We
Right.
will see people, young people, children, older people dying from both sides.
Yep.
And I don't like reading to people. Yeah, but Israeli were doing this before, and now the Hamas did it,
Right.
and like justifying one side. And I don't justify anybody.
Right.
Well, I understand. I kind of understand the conflict because I know little the background, the historical, and
Right.
they could they could go along together better. But there are issues. For example, in this situation, why did Hamas provoke so much? Because it's a major it's a major thing, right?
Right.
Provoking so much the state of Israel, which we know will respond very hard, right?
Correct.
Why? It's like sacrificing their own children, you know,
Right.
because there will be children dying. They're already dying today.
Right. Well, there's a
I'm
I read
sure.
this morning in the New York Times that there's about 1,000 people they've already said that are dead that they know of, and that the death toll is probably going to rise. And it's from both sides. It's just not
Of
Israeli or
course,
Palestine. It's
of
both.
course. I
But
think
it,
this might be the worst one of the conflicts between those two, the Palestinians and the Israel. In fact, I think that it's between Hamas. I don't think that Hamas really represent Palestine.
right.
They
I think
also
that
have to choose what's going on there, because if Palestinians support this kind of massacres that happen in Israel, I'm
right.
sorry, but already the people from the West and start to see those things in a really bad way, you know.
Right.
And Israel has been trying to make peace with other neighboring countries, and
Right.
slowly there was some
Right.
kind of you know, optimism in the horizon. But this happened, and I think that this happened because of this, because of Israel is trying to get along with other Arab countries around,
Nations. Right.
like Saudi Arabia and United Emirates that you're going. Uh, and they don't, and Hamas doesn't like it, because
Right.
now they have only one support from Iran, which Iran declared it openly that they support it. So they
Right. Right.
probably also put their hand onto it.
Right. But that's the
So
whole point. It's like enough's enough. It's like this isn't
yeah,
getting anywhere. Anybody anywhere. I remember back when they were, God, maybe 20 years ago when they were doing the last attack, and Sharon was the prime minister. And I remember he said, I was watching CNN at the Chicago airport. I never forgot this. And he said to Paula Zahn, he said, if a balloon comes across, and I forget who they were fighting with, he goes, a balloon, like because they were sending missiles. He goes, he goes, I don't care what comes across, even if it's a balloon, he goes, we're going to go nuclear. And from that point on, nobody shot anything into Israel. So Netanyahu the other day said, well, this is a war. Now, I'm not saying that they should go nuclear, but
No, no, they can't. They can't.
no.
Because
Well,
it's an area which will affect them too. It's a small area. They are
right.
fighting in a very, very small area.
Oh, I know it's
That's
like
the
nothing. But my
problem.
point was is that when it depends how fearful your enemy is of what statement you make. So now you have a war, and to your point, it's like we can't do this, we can't because it's in a small thing. The other thing which is terrible is because they hide in um, communities, so to speak, right? They go, they shoot, they do, and it's like, oh, okay, now what? Like, so you can't you go hide in a town. They're bombing the town to try to get them. So it's a terrible situation. Hopefully, it resolves itself sooner rather than later. You
No,
know,
it won't be soon. This
yeah,
will be a total war, you'll see. And I think Hezbollah from the north will also enter. And maybe even Iran. If it's Iran, then we are really in a deep shit. I already believe that we are, because they are asking if we are on the verge of World War III. I think we're already in World War III. But the World War III would not look like the World War II or one,
right,
because we have now weapons which like can kill us all, the
right.
nuclear. So it's proxy right now. In Ukraine it's kind of World War III, because
Yeah.
behind
It's a regional war, and that's how World War II
yeah
started with
behind
Germany.
Ukraine there is the
Yeah,
West
yeah,
in
and
general. Who
behind,
is
yeah,
sending the weapons to Ukraine? The
right,
West. All of the countries of the West, almost.
right,
And behind Russia there is China.
yep,
We know it. There is North Korea. There is
yeah,
probably Iran. And you see now the link.
yes,
And there's not only the only war that was happening the last day. There was another war in Nagorno Karabakh,
okay,
where the Azerbaijani, they're forced to from the so-called Republic of Artsakh, the Armenians. They had a place there
right,
inside. It wasn't recognized by any country. They had the place, and the Azerbaijani, they forced them to get away from the place. So it's
well,
totally now clean, and we've
yeah,
got another 120,000 refugees there. And but there was a war. It wasn't shown so much
right,
on the TV, because Azerbaijan is a key country now.
right,
Azerbaijan, they bring gas to Europe now, because we don't take it from Russia anymore.
right.
So it's very important. And they also, I think, they take also from what I've read. I don't know. We know nothing what really
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. I was gonna say unless you're there, you know nothing except what's in print or
Well,
what CNN
even the
shows you.
leaders, they don't know everything.
Right.
Because look, Israeli Mossad, one of the most important, um, how they are calling them, CIA.
Hmm.
It's uh, how they are
Spies,
called. How yeah, that's how
spies.
it's formally called.
Oh, the
The
Mossad, just
institution
called the Mossad.
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 But what is it?
It's a spying agency for Israel. It's
Yeah,
their equivalent to the CIA.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But the official name I was looking, it's
I think
spy.
it's just called the Mossad. I'm
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. Well,
it's
Mossad is the abbreviation.
agency of information. I don't know
Right.
how they
Right.
call
Right.
it anyway. And they are one of the strongest agencies in the
Hmm.
world. And look, they didn't know. It seems that they didn't know. And
Yeah.
also, look, because a war, it's not only a war. There are many things happening. For example, the very advertised Iron Drone, the
Hmm.
dome that they
Yeah.
have.
So that worked. That seemed to work well.
It seems to work well, but although they tried to, because they have dead people there. So
Right.
some of the rockets fell down and
Right.
managed to pierce through this. Of course,
Yeah.
without the
It would have been a lot worse.
really much worse, really
Right.
much
And I know the
worse, like
U.S.
10
now is
times or
moving.
more.
The U.S. said they're going to move naval ships into the region, and I'm like, okay. So if it escalates further, the U.S. is about to get involved.
Well, that was sure that there is. Look, I think Israel will can handle Hamas and Hezbollah,
Right.
can handle, but we are talking now about total war.
Yeah.
I mean, the Israel will go inside Gaza. Of course, they are already there, but they will also get inside Lebanon, also where Hezbollah
Right.
is situated. And it will be full scale war, full scale
Yeah.
war, a lot of dying people. So we'll be seeing another theater of fights, another more blood, and at some point it will be finished, and then we will be reading again that peace is always the answer. Yeah, peace is always the answer after the war, right? When
All right.
everybody's killed, and what the
But just
fuck
think, if,
for?
if if we didn't have a war, we wouldn't need to have a thing that says peace is the answer, right? It would be kind of like just all get along.
Well, it would be better,
Yeah, it
but
would be better for the it's just I'm still I don't I mean men are stupid. And when I say men, I mean men, women, everybody, right? It's like it's still a land acquisition game. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, I kind of know what they're fighting for, but I'm not quite sure what they think they're going to gain out of it, unless they're just trying
exactly.
to have all the Middle East countries hate Israel, but Israel didn't provoke the attack. So if you're a Middle Eastern country, you can't really go Israel. It's your fault. Israel's going to be like, we are doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, these other people come in, and it's like, okay, well, now we have to defend ourselves. So it's going to be very
I
interesting in the
really
next couple
try
months.
to answer the question why they did it now and why they
Right?
did it so hard. I mean, the Hamas,
Yeah.
because it is a terrorist organization. It is.
Right.
Look what they are doing. They're taking girls, women, and they're like massacre. Look, it was really horrible what we're
Yeah.
looking. Really, really horrible. And now try to take yourself in the position of an Israeli citizen. And the country, I haven't been there, but I know it's a small country. Greece is small, but
Right.
this is even smaller. I mean, it's a small piece of land, and there are a lot of people there, and not feeling secure anymore. And
Right.
men are in the army now. They've called because it's they declared war. There
Yeah.
are Israeli people from Greece going to Israel to fight.
Hmm.
So they are preparing for a full scale. Netanyahu
They're
said
yeah
it
they're
also
gonna
that
yeah this is going to be major.
it's going to be the worst from what we've seen, at least in our lives. I think it's going to be worse than 74. It was 74, or
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
but
it's
it's going to
going.
be interesting to see now what happens with the whole region because you have expats living in Dubai, like you
For
know,
me, it was like a provocation. Provocation, we say it because my English
right?
sucks.
Your
Uh,
English is
from
perfect,
from no, no, from Hamas to go
right?
full scale. They wanted
Yeah,
it
but that's
because
the
they knew
question.
that the answer. It was totally sure that Israel will not sit and look. Try to be at the situation, the shoes of an Israeli person,
Right,
seeing all those things. Like there was a
right,
party there, and they killed 250 people,
yeah.
like this, like young people, just going for a party.
But so here's my question, and we can't answer it, but it's more of a rhetorical. So if I'm UAE, if I'm Qatar, if I'm Omar, if I'm any of these Saudi Arabia, and this escalates, then whose side then am I on? And I think that's going to be interesting. And what I was getting to earlier or alluding to is you have a lot of expats living now in Dubai, right? Because Dubai is where all the billionaires are hanging out from around the world because it's good climate, it's safe, it's this. So now if there's a war there in that region, how safe is, if you will, the UAE? How safe is Qatar? How safe are all these where all these expats now are going?
It depends on what will happen with Iran. If
Right,
it if the thing goes really really bad, I mean that the Israeli will take revenge, killing a thousand of innocent.
right,
Then Iran and other countries like Turkey, there's also
right,
Turkey there, which is like supporting Palestine,
right,
and there's also Egypt there.
right.
there are so many countries, and look, for me, it's a political move that they want to provoke, and they want to start the peace talks between Saudi Arabia and Israel and all the others, because Israel, it's pretty sure, it was pretty sure for me that it wants, at least what I think, I might be
Right.
wrong, I don't know, but from what I see, it was, they wanted to go, look, let's somehow finish this.
Right. Right.
They have proposed, of course, the two state. Hamas doesn't want two states, two
It wants one.
countries. They want
Right. Right.
one. They want everything.
Yeah.
They want everything.
Right.
Those are extremists. They
Yeah.
are killing. Look, and there's another. There are so many extensions to this. There are a lot of Muslim peoples and a lot of refugees and people and that are Islamists are going to Europe, and there are already a
Mhm.
lot of them in
Right.
Europe already. For example,
Yeah.
Poland doesn't want them, or Hungary
I
doesn't
know. I
want
saw
them.
your prime minister on
Yeah.
preaching to the EU the other day. The Polish prime minister. He's like, we don't want your doctors. We don't want your lawyers. We don't want. He literally was like, don't send us anybody. We want nobody, and we're good. And he was talking
Yeah,
about
but
how
you know
strong the
something.
Polish
When
economic.
you are in a political uh, like a union, like European Union is,
Right. Right.
European Union say, look, we have to show solidarity to all the
Right.
countries that are affected the most, like Italy right now. There was Greece
Right.
a few years ago, but we still have them, and then Spain. But those
Right.
countries in the Mediterranean, because they come from the south, they come through the sea in
Right.
general. It's the easiest way for them to come. And right now, there's an island in Italy, Lampedusa, which is
Okay.
full of. It's like a camp of refugees.
Gotcha.
There are thousands of people, and they're coming, coming, and coming, and there might even more come.
Right.
Like millions,
Yeah.
like
But here's what's really
millions.
interesting. People generally don't have a clue what's going on in the world. I was at a thing the other day, actually yesterday, and this gentleman and I were talking about the war. And someone was looking at us like we had three heads. We're like, what war? I'm like, have you not, like, do you do not read the paper? You're not like up on any, like, there's a war in Israel. Like, they're like, oh, I didn't know. So people don't care anymore because if it's not on TikTok or it's not on Instagram or it's not on YouTube or it's not,
It is on
well,
TikTok. It is
I
on
know,
Instagram.
but here's what's
It's
really
everywhere.
interesting. It depends what your feed is. My feed shows this stuff because between everything that we read, I also get all the news alerts. So between Financial Times, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, I see what's going on.
Yeah.
My social media is all either business or world, so I get it. But when you look at most people's social media, it's still people dancing. So you know what I mean? It's like there's nothing of merit there. So a lot of people don't have a clue of what's going on. And most people, if you ask them to point out where this is on a map, can't do that either. And because it doesn't affect them or they don't think it affects them day to day, they don't really, it's like, oh, there's a problem, but it doesn't affect me. They don't realize it becomes then a global problem. Oil prices will either go up or
Yeah, because
down.
they
The stocks
afterwards
for,
they come and say, oh, they complain all the time that, oh, everything is so expensive.
right,
Yeah,
right,
but you would answer at least one part of the question why if
right.
you would knew what's going on in the world.
Well, not only that, but today in Europe, most of the airline stocks are down because I think it was I'm going off Lufthansa. I think BA is still going, but watching it closely. Ryanair, American Airlines, Delta, all of them now are just saying we're not going to be going over to Israel. Like we're stopping
No, no, no. Of
flights.
course, no. There is a
So yeah,
war
I'm
there
like, that's a
now.
good idea.
There's a
So
there's a war.
but I mean, it's what people don't realize is a war has an economic side to it as well. And the economic side to it is going to be not maybe loss of jobs, but increased prices, whether it may be oil, increase airfare because you got to make up your money from somewhere. So there's always something. And, so if people aren't, I don't think, engaged with it or at least understand it, that's an issue. So, but you know how people are.
I know, I know,
I know.
and this is sad, because they also don't care. They don't go to vote.
Yeah.
Yesterday there was elections in Greece. We had elections for presidents of the cities,
Right.
like this, and only 44% of the population went to vote.
Oh,
And
wow.
I see people. Of course, I can understand also why, because the the candidates, they are like kind of the same all the time, from the same
Right.
parties, doing the same thing.
Right.
And but still you need to show, you can use vote for many things. You can like send a message
Right.
to anyone that will win, or something like that. We had major floods, and the people didn't think that it was the
Right.
the the president's fault or something. We have a
Right.
president which in a city that was had a major catastrophe because of the floods, and he's a caricature. He's a kind of a guy who is like homophobic.
Wow.
He's kind of racist, I think,
Mm.
and he's graphic. I mean, he was getting out in the morning. It was raining, and he has all the time a television in, following him, and he's
Right.
showing all the time his face there, and he was saying, look, it's not raining that much that they were saying it's going to rain so much. 1 hour later, look, it's the same. It's not so
Right. Right.
bad.
Right.
5 hours later, look, it's not that bad. They were lying. 10 hours later, people hide. It's really bad. Go hide. It's major catastrophe.
Right. Right.
Look, this is silly thing. It would be funny if it wasn't tragical. It's
Yeah.
but still the guy won for the third time yesterday, from the first election, from the first
Because people don't like change and they're comfortable. It's like an old pair of shoes, right? Why change? I know this fits. And that's part of the other issue is, people aren't keeping up with what's going on in politics. They don't keep up with this. People right now, I think, are just trying to survive. So keeping up with what's going on,
yeah,
whether it's local or
they had
global, is a big
they
thing.
had a major catastrophe. I mean, someone has to pay for it.
But they
Something
don't
has
think
gone
like that.
wrong.
Right.
It was twice. It was twice in a month.
Right.
So it will be more. But you know something? I see other people reacting to this, the Greeks from
Right.
other cities. Okay, you wanted this guy. I'm not going to be sorry for you anymore. I'm not going to
Right.
send you food. I'm not going to send you water. They had problem with water for a long time, with electricity for a long time, because
Right.
this guy is mainly followed by a television and showing off his that he's working, he's doing. Okay, you want this
And that's
guy,
it.
keep this
Right.
guy, but don't come crying later that, oh,
Right.
I'm sorry. It was your decision to have this guy
We had
for
a
the
guy like
third
that.
time.
We had a guy like that was president a few years
Yeah.
back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That guy. He
Which
may
one?
run again or may not. I don't know. But anyway, yeah.
Trump?
So we had the
You mean
same issue.
Trump?
Yeah.
Trump has to first to win the Republican
Well,
vote.
Trump, I
Yes.
think right now has to figure out how to get away or get through all
Yeah,
his
he's
criminal
got
and
major
civil lawsuits,
problems.
and yeah, he's got the
Uh,
judge in New York saying that he's overinflated his
I think
businesses.
Trump is out of the picture. I think Trump is out of the picture. Also,
I Biden.
Biden is out of the picture. I
Yeah, but
think.
then if that's the case, then the Democrats have to come up with somebody that has a clue. And I don't see anybody. There's nobody they're putting in saying, look, we have a clue. I heard very funny the other day. I heard a comedian, a black comedian. So I don't give us cards and letters. They was saying
Uh,
that, if Biden wins again and Kamala Harris is his vice president, no, everyone was going to be scared because you don't, a black president. I'm like, we had Obama, but a black woman, they're saying, is going to be like, the joke he made, which is going to be funnier than I told. He said, like, if Putin
well,
acts
she
up,
she
he's going
could
to
be
call him and go,
lesbian
come on.
also. So there was going to
Well,
be black woman
and
and
if you make
lesbian.
and if you
Being
make her
crazy, right?
Jewish, if you make her Jewish, we've
Oh,
ticked every
we need a
box.
Jewish also.
We need a Jewish black lesbian president. We're good.
Well, it's not a problem anymore. It's not a
No,
problem
no.
anymore.
Now it's well here. What's funny? Here it always is going to be a problem. The rest of the world, you know, India, Israel have had, and Britain have had female prime ministers. They've had this. They've had. We're the only one. Hillary came close, but didn't get there for what it because they wanted Barack, which is fine. But now it's like the Democrats need somebody maybe other than Biden because of his age. Camila as our vice president. I have no say in that. I could care less because I don't know if she knows what she's doing or not. You never hear about her. I never read about her. I never see anything. So
Yeah,
she's not like a
only
lot of vice
negative
presidents are
I've
going.
heard, but I don't know
I
also.
haven't seen anything. And then the flip to
Mm.
it is on the Republican side, whether it's Trump or whoever, it's like there's an extreme, right? I think there's the old school Republicans that are like, we still want to do good, and then you've got the extremes that are far left and extremes that are far right. We just need someone that's in the middle that says, let's just bring everything together and make, let's get America back on track instead of like fighting about we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And the Speaker of the House, Congress is closed. It's like this is a bad movie. Like if you would have told someone 20 years ago that this is what's going to happen in the year 2023, or if The Simpsons did this as a parody, people would be like, you're crazy. But you're here and it's like a bad movie. It's like you want to get up and walk
A
out.
lot of things in the past would look crazy
Yeah,
to what's going on.
I
And
know.
this is a lesson that we have to be prepared for other things to see in
Oh,
in
I'm
the,
I'm
the,
sure this is
the
just the
future.
beginning. I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for the UFOs to land and that's it. That's all. And once that happens, I'll be good. But wait, let's go into something
Well,
like a pleasant topic other than UFOs because we can go off on a
I
tangent.
I have a pleasant something for you.
Let me,
Look,
yeah, show us two. There's a coffee mug. Wait, let's
look.
do
There is
this.
a
And then you're
coffee
also in the
mug.
school book. There's some of our merch.
Yes,
That's actually a
it's our
very pretty
show.
coffee
It's
mug.
our show
Adam on the
here,
Eve.
Adam on the Eve, and you can get it on the shop. That you
Yeah.
will. Please leave the links down
I'm
today.
gonna put the links below so everybody
Yeah,
can
yeah, where they
see.
can buy. And there are more
Yeah.
stuff that you can buy there. There are other
Yeah.
other mugs. There are
Yeah.
uh, many things that you can
Yeah.
choose, not only from this show but from many shows. But it's
Yeah.
really, really nice. It's really, really nice. I like it very much. It's
Very
going to
cool.
accompany me during the winter that is coming with hot tea and coffees.
That and I saw your whatchamacallit. I saw your Frosty the Snowman mug. So that and your hot tea and coffee will,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah. So we go every time that we will have a show, I'll be, and I it would be very nice if everybody watching this show would also drink from the same
coffee
coffee
mug.
mug. Yeah, and we it would be very nice.
So
We
here
could
for
be
us,
talking. We could connect in a way this way.
there you go. All your fans will get a piece of you. And actually, because you have some of your, I don't want to see your artwork, but some of your pieces have been put on. Um, I think we have canvas, we have tote bags, we have canvases, we have tons of things.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
they can
yeah,
get
yeah.
some of that. They can get a little bit of Adam. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And during the time we'll put maybe new stuff, but for now
yeah,
we have those. Let them, because we want them to be you can start a collection with those,
yeah. Well, I
and
think David's only
really, really
making
nice.
250 of anything. So
Yeah, so it's
only
limited.
250 people in the world can
It's
only
limited.
have,
So
right.
just
Yeah.
look. You can see
Oh, we got to zoom in on
the
this. Hold on a second.
reflection.
There you
The
go.
reflection.
There you
It's
go.
it's what I said last time that we were talking about and explaining the artworks. That
Right.
I'm not using the metaphor of the reflection.
Right.
I'm using the metaphor of the refraction. Like this would be like from glass, right?
Right.
And if I would put it there, and you will see that the glass would filter the environment in a different way, because you see the reflection is pretty straightforward in a way.
Right.
Okay, it is distorted, but it's not distorted the way that refraction is doing it.
Right.
And the difference is also that the refraction is a medium inside the model,
Right.
inside the subject of your
Right.
artwork. So I'm developing those. I have new works. One is inspired by the war. We will show it next time because the war will not be finished like the other war is
Right.
not finished. So we will have two major wars.
Yeah.
And this is because if you see, it's kind of a line in a way. It's like an axis there.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little afraid of those things. It's major global incident now.
Yeah. I think it's going to be very. Wait, and there's also you are, for your fans to know, in a school book.
Yeah, I received also. This is Geografia e Historia. I don't. I don't know exactly which trimestro three. It's third trimester. I know it's in Spain, but
Okay.
this is the school book. geographic center in Spain. We
Right.
can see a little Picasso there. We
I
can
see
see
that.
Paris. This is I don't know what's this. This is like a Red Cross. I don't know, nurse or
Medical.
something.
Eh,
So in one of inside the book, which is very nice. Of course, I don't speak Spanish, but
right.
it's around the world, etc., etc. So there's in one point we've
There
got
you
one
are.
of my works.
Very nice.
This is called Love for Light.
Very nice.
It's called Love for Light, and it's called like La Escultura Digital.
Very nice.
Digital, I think that means digital sculpture. Because yeah, you can say, and look, because it's an honor, because the guys that you see up there, this is Brancusi, I think.
Right.
Uh, yes, Brancusi. Of course, this is Giacometti.
Right.
Those are really, and we have Henry Moore also here. So you see three major, I mean, really, really major figures of art
Right.
in an international way and also a historical way. And this Adam Martinakis, which is
There you
still
are.
alive because those are dead, still alive and kicking, and having the
We like
show
that.
here. Yeah, it's an honor. It's really an honor. It's a big honor because this is educational book. This is
Yeah.
education. It's nice to see that your work can be shown to people, young people, and maybe they get interested into art and
Right.
uh, you know because the arts are not only the arts. There are a lot of things, and behind my work, there are so many extensions. And you see, we show the works less here
Yeah.
than what we talk about. But what we talk about actually is the inspiration that I'm always asked in the interviews. What's my inspiration? And those are my inspiration. The
Right.
war is an inspiration. Of course, I would prefer not to make artworks about work and
Right.
continue the artworks about the erotic void, for example, which I have already.
Right.
Uh,
But
I
the
have
nice thing
next
is
one.
here, people get to know you. So when they buy a piece of your art, it's not like because I know you now, we've done so many shows with you. When I look at your piece of art that we have on my wall, I like there's a smile. I like the work, so I smile about that. But then I know who Adam is because we speak. He's my friend, and I can look at that, and it's just like it makes it even better. So this
Yeah,
for
there
your
is more
fans is
more
even
more
better.
to it.
Yeah.
There's more to it. It's not an artwork like with no face, for example,
Right.
right? It's someone's artwork. It's this guy's artwork.
Even though, just so we're clear, mine has no face. No, I'm just kidding. So
Yeah, but it's important that they don't have face,
I know,
right?
right? I love that's a
It's part
beautiful.
of the
Everyone,
story. Yeah,
everyone
it's
loves
part of
it.
the
They come in
concept.
and they go. They are like, wow. They all love that piece. So, but
Yeah,
yeah.
and
So
but in a way, now that you look at my work and the new
mhm,
works, you probably understand more because you know my thinking
yeah,
more. Of course, it's English. I tell you, English is very very limited to me. Greek would be easier. Polish
right,
also, it's a problem to me. Only Greek is, but still, I'm not good with languages. That's why I
yeah,
express with forms, colors, compositions, and visual arts
right,
because I try to speak my mind and my feelings uh, through this medium.
right,
For me, it's what the Chinese were saying. One picture is more than thousand words. I
yep,
would say no words are enough to describe an image
right,
because even if I would tell you every detail by words, you would never have the picture of it. And it's not about the picture that you make in your mind. It's about the moment that you're looking at it and the connection, the spiritual connection, as Heidegger
right,
was saying that art is. Heidegger, the German philosopher, was saying that art is has got a spiritual essence
right,
always. So it doesn't really matter if you do it from clay, acrylics, print, 3D,
right,
metal, or whatever, which is often stated in the market, etc. I tell you that the art market, has become something totally alienated from the essence of art right now.
right.
It's another product. It's another product to be sold and bought and sold.
Yeah.
and another market.
But it's not like it. See, I buy art to appreciate it because when I started to collect it way, way back in the day, I remember a friend of the family said to me, he goes, always buy something you like. So if it doesn't appreciate, you still like it. Like he says, you're not buying it as an investment. So everything I've bought, I like. Like I look at it, I can tell you the story why I bought it. I smile. It's a whole thing. So I've learned over the years, you buy what you like. And then if it goes up in value, that's great. And if it doesn't go up in value, I don't care. I still like it. And
Yeah,
that's the
but it's
important
not
thing.
that you check, oh, how's going this artist that I bought 2 years ago.
Oh
Maybe
yeah, no, I could
the
care
price has
less.
gone up. Maybe we sell
Yeah,
something, so we get a. But there are people, a lot of people who do that,
I know it's
and
crazy to me, and I'm just
they
like,
actually kill the art
it's a
itself.
business, right? It's a business. There's a company, and I can't remember the name. And you put money in a group, and they'll buy a painting, and then they hold it for 2 or 3 years, and then they sell it and whatnot. And I'm like, that's great, but who gets to? You don't really get to appreciate it. It's like a stock at that point. It's like
Yeah.
it's like people that buy very rare scotch and they hold it for 20 years, never drink it, and then they resell it. I'm like, but shouldn't you drink it to enjoy it? It's the same with
Yeah.
people that buy like supercars. They don't drive it because it'll depreciate it. I'm like, I drive the shit out of it because I want to whatchamacallit. I don't care about the depreciation. If I did, I wouldn't buy one because that means I can't afford it. I want to get in the car, turn the key. I don't care whether I drive 10 kilometers or 1,500 kilometers in a day or a month or a week. You just enjoy. And that's the problem. People are so worried about 5 years from now. No one will enjoy today. And that's kind of a scary thing. It's the same with art. It's the same with fine alcohol or whiskeys now and scotches. Same with cigars. Same with cars. I'm like, where do we become the society where we stopped enjoying? It's just crazy to me.
Yeah. We have
So yeah, what
become
do I know?
something. Well, you know something. You know the same things that others know.
Huh? I read a book.
You,
I know a lot.
we have our experiences through
Right.
life. Actually, no one can judge somebody else except from the point that there is a terrorism going on. So I need to protect
Right.
myself. So I have to criticize this because he's threatening me and my
Yeah.
life. And in general, this kind of, if we are in a society, we're criticizing others because they are doing things that are bad to the others. They are doing things that probably are even, like crimes or
Right.
not legal stuff.
Yeah.
So
That's
we need
true.
to follow as a society to be legal. If we want to change the law, we need to vote for somebody who wants to change the law. This is
Right.
the way to go. This is democracy. It's not perfect, but we don't have something better.
That's true. So,
We
well,
don't have something.
at some point there'll be a utopia, but I think there's no
Yeah,
Shangri-La,
I believe so
unfortunately.
too. But we need to go through big shit. I'm sorry to say this,
Yeah.
and it's already started. We are already living it.
Yeah.
So we are in a period of time, I believe, that is going to change a lot of things. And I'm not saying that it's going to change the borders of countries and stuff like this. I don't believe in that anymore.
Right.
I don't buy this anymore. I'm not kind of nationalist or stuff like this. You cannot lock yourself anymore in a so globalized world. And
Right.
there are people who are against globalization, etc. Well, look, globalization is means that I can take a plane right now and go to Australia and be there
Right.
next day. That's
Right.
globalization. I mean that the technology brings you closer.
Right. Well, better
And
than that, we can have a Zoom call with
yeah,
anybody on the planet,
you're in
wherever.
America, I'm in Greece,
Yeah, and we can have
and
a call
we
like
are
this.
live. We have other
Yeah.
people like watching right now from other
Yeah.
parts of the world.
Yeah.
There's no limit anymore in this small rock that is flying around the sun somewhere in the galaxy,
That is true.
Milky Way galaxy, and
and and one
somewhere
day
in the
we'll
universe.
realize that we are not alone. And as somebody I read a thing the other day, and somebody had said this, and I thought this was interesting. Instead of saying we're not alone, and who we're, it should be like, why are we here? That should be the real question. Like, why are we here?
Yeah,
How do we?
those are the questions that interest me because
Right,
after a point when I started to think more, and I was I remember myself thinking always all the time, much deeply,
right.
and I just cannot express myself well with words. That's my
That's
problem.
why you have
And
your art.
exactly. So this
Right,
is supplementary to my work. If you want to
right,
know, it's a work. It's the work, and I have many works, and I will continue to do. So I
right,
speak my mind and my heart and everything through the works. But I forgot what I wanted to say.
That's okay. It was wonderful. But anyway, the next live show will be
Yeah.
October 30th.
Yes, we will
So
show works
we'll show
there.
works.
Yeah.
David will be back, and David is the one who knows how to push buttons to show work.
That's next
So
2 weeks from now,
two
right?
weeks will be a
Oh,
fortnight
so
away.
we will see digital works, and probably we'll see another, but finished now. Uh, One of the physical pieces.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Like the last show we did, you showed a big physical piece, which was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, but this that the other one, it's not. It's there. But it's not for sale. But I'll show bigger ones and
Okay,
for sale now. I think
very
because
cool.
I know what I want to do, and I've already ordered the stuff, and
Nice.
in the next 2 week, I think it'll be finished, the first
That'll
one,
be nice. So on the
or maybe
30th,
it'll
it'll
be
be like
even
a
two. I don't know because I'm
right,
really I finished a lot of things that I wanted to do. I was in Athens for last week,
right,
and yeah, this is always an experience to me. I used to live 30 years there, but I'm not
right,
living there anymore for 11 years, and but now I'm like more a village guy,
right,
and
right,
it's very strange to me because Athens is a very peculiar city. It's very dense, and the houses and the blocks are really close to each other. There's cars everywhere,
right,
and I look at it and it looks very alien to me now.
right,
uh, I I couldn't be living like this anymore. The smells and everything. There's mix of cultures now in the areas where I was living. I don't mind this so much,
right,
but the state is downgrading the those areas in a way.
right.
I don't think it should happen. They should look around and take care of all the places in Athens and the
That
city
would
of
it would be
Athens.
nice if everybody took care of all the places, but you know how this goes. So
I know, but we need to
unfortunately,
change it.
that's what the show hopefully will do, one person at
Exactly.
a time.
This is the,
Change a little bit.
if we should give one purpose of the show, it's this:
Yeah,
that
I agree.
we want to change towards good living
Right.
with each other.
Yeah.
It's what you say. We are alone by default, but we can ease this pain of and suffering of being alone, not being alone.
Right.
I mean, being together
Yeah.
and cooperating.
And
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 it's
and
really sad that
cohabitating.
we see those
Yeah.
things, that the conflicts, that if you read history, you would see that for thousands of years, the Arabs and the Jewish people were cooperating and
Yeah,
were
they got
living
along.
together. Yeah, they
There's
need
a
to.
great book that I finished. It's called The World. Just that's the title, The World. And it talks about all of that. And it wasn't until the Catholic Church got involved with the Jews, and when they did kick them out of Spain and whatnot, in about the 1500 is where it sort of all of a sudden turned where nobody liked the Jews. It was sort of like, nah, we don't like you this next going forward from 1400 CE, we don't like you anymore. But yeah, back in the day, Muslims, Arabs, and Jews all lived together. There was never an issue. They all understood each other and they all respected each other. And then one day they decided, no, no more.
Yeah,
So
selfish.
yeah, well,
Ego,
welcome
the
to
ego
life.
start to
Yeah,
speak there.
yeah,
The ego start to speak from both sides because look, in the conflict, there is no somebody sane and somebody not sane.
right,
Israel has done other things, the Israeli army, and they'll be doing right now. But on
right.
the other thing, they're humans, they're
Hmm.
uh, carrying the human weaknesses as well. And seeing the pictures I've seen, I would be furious.
Yeah. Well, and I
I
think they
would be
are.
scared for my family. I would be.
Yeah.
And look, if you have lost somebody,
Yep.
then you are an animal. You're
Yeah.
animal. You'll be killing everybody. Doesn't look if it's child. You're animal. If you lost your
Yeah.
wife, if you lost your husband, because everybody in Israel is soldier, women, men.
Yep.
They need to be.
It's it's going to be it's going to hopefully, but I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I'm just hoping it gets better before it gets much worse, but we'll see.
Hopefully, I have this hope.
Right?
That this will end somehow in a more
Peaceful.
civilized manner.
Yeah.
But I don't see it, unfortunately.
You
Let
never
it be
know.
another lesson.
Yeah, we keep a good thought, as they say.
Yeah. Well,
So
there is no other way of being optimist after all,
right,
because what else can you be?
yeah, yeah. If there be anything else,
You
it'd
lo-
be
you you,
silly
lo-
and
you
silly.
lose any kind of meaning if you are
Yeah,
not. You lose
and
any
you
kind
lose
of
any
meaning
kind of
and
hope.
life. Yeah, if you lose any kind of hope, of
Yeah,
course there is this Greek philosopher Kazantzakis who was saying, "I don't fear anything. I don't hope for anything. I'm
right.
free."
There you go.
For him, hope is a kind of slavery.
Right,
And if you're thinking in a way, in a philosophical way, yeah, it's because many people you just they hold on into their hope.
right.
But when I say hope, that doesn't mean that you don't do anything. That it doesn't mean that you are like sitting and waiting in uh, pathetic in a pathetic way. You
Right,
do something, to stop. Well, what can you do? I don't know. Speak your mind. We are speaking our
yeah.
minds here.
And
I am
that's the
saying
important thing.
clearly that this is not the way for humanity to go
Right,
and to prosper together. The only way is through cooperation. That
right.
means that you will lose something that you want, and the other side will lose also something that will. This is called um, when we get to agreement. You see
It's
my
an agreement.
English word.
If you're both
Yeah,
afraid of losing something, it's the mutual deterrent. It's the same thing they had during the Cold War, like why Russia wouldn't
exactly,
fire nuclear weapons at us and vice versa, because it was
exactly.
mutual destruction. And nobody, there's no winner.
Compromise. We need to
Compromise?
compromise. This is the
Yeah.
word. There must be a compromise always,
Yes.
always. And look, it's happening in every day,
Yeah.
even with your wife, with your husband, or whatever, your partner. You have to compromise with
Yeah.
somebody else.
That is true.
Sometimes you need to compromise with yourself. There's a
Right.
part of yourself. I've been telling this that I've shown this in my works, that the two figures that I often say that they try to hold and hug each other are not always
Right.
two different persons. There are forces that are inside you. One force wants you to do this,
Right.
to, for example, to go to the party, and
Yeah.
another
Right.
says, no, stay to read for your exams
Right. Right.
because you need to pass the exams and you may
Right.
go to the party next time maybe. So
Yeah.
there are two parties. I'm just saying a
Yeah.
metaphor, right?
I
there are,
agree.
there are
I
so
agree.
many, you understand.
Metaphorically, though, that's probably
Yeah,
more
yeah,
close
yeah.
to reality.
So this is
So,
also a confrontation.
right.
This is also a confrontation. But you need to do a compromise, even with
Right.
yourself, even
Yep.
inside yourself.
I agree.
You will not have it all, everything you wish for.
Right.
It's good to have dreams. It's good to have to work toward your dreams, to set a direction and work, be consistent with it.
Right.
And you will probably, the most possible is that you will get them. You'll
Right.
go to what you want, but not everything, not
Correct.
everything. You will do some
Keep.
compromise. Sometimes you need to choose this or
Yep.
this, because always choosing something means you didn't choose something else.
Correct.
You can
Yes.
always go back and choose, if you have
Right.
made a mistake. It's not a problem making a mistake. Uh, it's a problem when you are hurting a lot other people. And in
Right.
general, when you're hurting other people, we have to respect others.
Yep.
Respect others, not do such things like I've seen. Like, look, animals don't do it.
Right.
It's the worst part of humans. What I've
Hmm.
seen being done by Hamas now, and maybe and probably by Israeli army some years ago, and probably will
Right.
happen now again. It's the bad side of humans.
Yeah.
It
It's
will not take us anywhere. This will not
yeah.
take us anywhere. Only
But
crying,
right.
suffering, and pain. Nothing
And
else.
death. Yeah.
Well, yes,
Well,
yes.
unfortunately. And on that happy note.
Well, we're speaking those things. It is a happy note because we are
Right.
saying clearly that this is not leading anywhere. There's other way.
Right.
There are other ways. They need to find other ways, and there in Ukraine, USA with China,
Right. Everybody
Greece
needs
with
to
Turkey.
compromise and have a dialogue. There is a
They
thing
have
called the
to.
UN, even though it's kind of a joke. It's a good place to everybody get together and kind of talk through
It
their
is a
issues.
joke, but at least there is. There were years and centuries that there was nothing. They
That's
were
true. That's very
resolving
true.
everything with war.
Yeah. And now we're trying to at least well, except for right now, we're trying to do it verbally and with agreements and whatever. So let's hope that by October 30th, this is scaled down, not scaled up.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, but we will be back
Hopefully.
then, which is a couple days before. It's a day
Yeah.
before Halloween here in America, so that'll be interesting. So,
Yeah.
my friend,
Yeah.
it's always good to see you. I can't wait to
Yeah.
see your
You
work.
too.
It's always good, and we'll talk, and then that'll be it. So,
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. We'll leave the merchandise link below. You can buy merch from Adam on the Eve. There you go. You can drink coffee with Adam, and that some of his artwork is there as well. And
Yeah.
then give your comments, and if you would like to be on the show, ooh, and you have something important you think to say, let us know, and you can be on the live show with Adam and us. It'll be awesome.
Of course.
There you
That's a
go.
very
We
good
love
idea.
our fans. And don't forget to leave your comments below. Have a great week, everybody. See you later. Cheers.
Bye bye.